Hi, this is Shaman from Ludovox. So today in that video I'm going to tell you about Tramways. This is a game prototype from 1 to 5 players for age 14 plus for game lengths of about 30 minutes per player. This is from Alban Vian, who is self-publishing it, and this is currently on Kickstarter, so in May 2016. So in Tramways, your goal is to accumulate more happiness points than your opponents. You're going to get that by just building some things on that city, small city. You're going to gain points by just building some new railways, opening some new lanes, and having some passenger traveling on your ways that you're going to build. You're going to have to manage this track, which is a stress level, that will have you lose some points, some happiness points at the end of the game. You're going to have to manage also your money, because that will stress you to have no money and to have to pay something, and also because for each $10 that you have at the end of the game, you'll get some happiness points. So the turn order is quite simple. You're going to have a first bidding to have the order, the turn order. Then you have your action phase, and finally administrative phase. The heart of the game is that everything is action, is card driven, and with a deck building mechanism. Every player will get 7 cards at the beginning of the game, 4 of them being properties with some coordinates. So you see, for example, A2, C3, they are coordinates. And so when you get this card at the beginning of the game, you're just going to put some marker on some token of your color on the board on this different coordinate, because this is now your place. You have some basic card also with some action at the beginning. So basically you have a basic and you're going to get some new card during the course of the game. You're going to get some card from the development by building some new buildings on the board, and also at the bidding phase everybody will get 1 card. Okay, so the cards are made of different icons, and basically to do an action you're going to use any number of cards that you want from your hand and use a different icon on it. Each time you play some cards, the free icon you're using on this card is free, and any additional icon that you're going to use will raise your stress level, which I remind you is some negative point at the end of the game. So the bidding phase, we start by we just bid some money, some dollar, to define the turn order. So we're using that track here to know who's first, and we have multiple runes, and when we are done with that bidding phase, we have a final order for that turn. So first player here, that will be green, we start by choosing one of these 3 cards available for that turn. So let's say he's taking that card, which is a property card with coordinates. So basically green will get G1. So he's taking his control token and put it on G1. So now this is his place, nobody can take it from him. As a second player, so purple will take a card, etc., and then we're set. So now we start the action phase. So during the action phase we have 2 rounds. The first one is just playing 1 action. Every player can play 1 action after each other, and then we have a second round where we can play 2 action. It's possible to pass during this action to just get $2 from the bank, because sometimes we just need more money than just playing action. During that phase we can do 3 types of action. One of these action is about building and upgrading the railway. So basically for doing that action we can play either that one, which is about improving, or we can just play the rail icon to just build a new lane. So for example, if I just want to build a new lane, let's say I want to build something that would be 3 rails long, then I would just play these 2 cards. One of the icon are double rail and one is a single rail. So I get 3 rail to put on the board. So I don't know, let's put them there, for example. Start from here, and here we go. And I want this place to be connected to that commercial area. So I am completing that lane, which means that I have to pay the number of rail I've put on the board, but also that I need to pay 1 icon corresponding to one of the extremities of that lane. That should be D1 for that starting coordinate, or that could be the commercial building. So here, for example, I will use that card with a C symbol, and now that's all fine. I mean, I paid 3 rails plus 1 C, and that allows me to build that lane. On top of that, every time you're going to start a new lane or just continuing an existing one, you will have to pay 1 rail worker. So And this card that I've used are going to the discard. So that was only one action that I did. So we could do the same for just upgrading a lane, in which case we're going to put it on the other side of the token, and that shows a line here that is upgraded. So that has some advantage in terms of happiness and also the money we get from the passenger that are going to use these rail lanes. Okay, so another action is building or improving a building. So getting building is quite important because this is going to help us build our deck, getting new card, getting some additional advantages, and also getting some happiness points straight. So basically, if I just want to build something, I'll just take a card with an icon building, and then I use a coordinate. So here, these two together, I mean, now I'm building something in D1. So very simple. Then you choose one of the 4 buildings available in that basic version. So you get either an industrial, commercial, leisure, or residential area. When you choose a building, you just take the tile and you put it where it is. So that was D1 here, for example. And I just have a new building that awards me directly 1 happiness point. I can get the card that is associated with that building. And also I can get sometimes some specific advantage. If it's building an industrial area, it can take that tile, which say you can have now up to 8 cards in your hand during the turn. The last action you're going to take is to move a passenger, to have a passenger travel. So basically, to do so, you just need to discard any card with a magnetic band. Some of the cards have no magnetic band because they are expired tickets. But here, for example, I have only a card with magnetic. So I can discard a card with magnetic band. So now I'm allowed to move a passenger. And then I will play a card with an icon of the destination. So here, if passenger is going to a commercial area, for example, I will just discard this card. And then I choose a passenger. So let's do that. For example, I'm the orange player. I want to move that one to here. And then I need to first go through the green lane, which is not mine, and then go through this one, and I'm arrived. So first of all, for every lane that have been used, the owner of this lane will get 1 happiness point. So for example, I have used the green lane, so green will get 1 point, and then I have used the orange one, which will award me 1 point as well. When you've done that, you have to pay the fee. So basically, you need to pay $1 for each section, each rail of the lane you have used. So basically, here for the green one, I will have to pay $1, $2, $3, $4 to the green one. Then the passenger has been using the orange lane, which is mine, and I will get 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, which means 4.5, so that would be rounded up. So $5 for this passenger going through that lane, and that would be from the bank. So basically, every time you go through a lane that doesn't belong to you, you have to pay to the player owning it. And every time the passenger goes through one of your lane, you will get some money from the bank. So when it's done, you can discard the passenger meeple and then you activate the building. So basically every building gets you a special ability. So the commercial area, for example, will raise your stress level, then get you $5. And finally, you can get a new card from one of these development deck. The industrial one will get you a rail walker. The leisure part allow you to buy some victory happiness points by paying in dollars. And finally, the residential area will just have you lower your stress level. So these are the 3 main actions that you're going to do during that phase. When it's done, you go to administrative phase, in which you can use the remaining card that you have in hand. So mainly the action during this phase would be just get some money, get some new raid walker, or finally just reduce your stress level. So when you're done with that, you can discard cards that you don't want to keep for the next turn. So the first one is free, and the other one will cost you some money to the bank. These allow you to prepare your next turn by just discarding the one you don't think you will need the next turn and get the one that you need. You complete your hand up to your hand limit, and then you start a new round. Every time you move from one round to the other, you're going to cross here some cubes that have been randomized at the beginning of the game that will tell you where new passengers going to pop on the board. So that is going to replenish the passenger available to travel. Okay, so at the end of the game, we're just going to look where we are on the happiness track. We're going to add a bonus of point for each $10 that we have in hand, plus one bonus point for every lane that is completed, I mean connecting two different places together. Then you're going to reduce your score by the amount of the stress level that you have accumulated. And that could be pretty bad because you can lose up to 21 points, and then you are set and you know your final score. So the player with the most happiness wins the game, basically. So you know almost everything about Tramways, so now it's your move. Go ahead and play.